this.
Altered item number 40, the SHÜM arcade cabinet. This set of items is an example of one of the few occurrences of multi-component altered items. AI-40A is a cabinet that contains the game SHÜM. AI-40B contains its sequel, SHÜM 2: Kulgar's Revenge. According to the history of this game duology, SHÜM was developed by Bonco Entertainment. This company is no longer in business. During the security team's last run to external communications, they were unable to locate any information about this game developer. In addition, no other cabinet containing the game could be located. Inquiry. Despite online sources not providing information on this developer, it is possible there are some paper sources. Once the building lockdown is lifted, it is recommended to have info tracked down. If we ever get out of this goddamn thing. If no information can be uncovered, I recommend directing this file to the Mandela Effect office for further investigation. As no other cabinets were located, testing to determine the nature of the alteration cannot be performed. At this time, there is no confirmation if the game SHÜM or the cabinet itself is what is altered. The image of a retro arcade cabinet is certainly strong enough in the collective psyche to be the focus of parental forces. If other SHÜM games are located that are not altered, this would support this hypothesis. The altered effect of AI-40A and AI-40B is to transfer the mind of anyone who touches it into a subjective video game reality. The player, for lack of a better phrase, finds their lives placed under the rules of a game. Contents of this game are subjective to the player. The player remains in this stroke-like state until the game is over, whether that be through victory or defeat. It has been observed that the experience does not reflect the actual game SHÜM in any way, suggesting SHÜM is simply a medium and not the source of alteration. However, no confirmation of this can be given at this time. Interjection. The name SHÜM may or may not be relevant. While the game was popular in Japan, the name may be in reference to Slavic folklore. While some sources claim it is the name of a god, some folklorists disagree. Animism was a form of pre-pagan religion that was founded on the idea all animals, plants, geographic locations, and natural phenomenon contained a spiritual essence. Not necessarily a god, but a spiritual aspect. SHÜM can be translated as either sound or forest, depending on the dialect. It is believed to be the personified sound of the forest awakening from winter into spring. Physical location is a requirement of the item's effect. If the two cabinets are separated by a distance of greater than 10 feet, all altered status is blocked. The reasoning why is discussed in a research paper by Emily Pope entitled The Parasensitivity of Sequels. At this time, the item is being held in the investigation sector despite various petitions to relocate it to research for testing. It is very likely that departments only wish to hold on to it so they have a fun pastime to engage in while on break. Because of this, research on this item is scarce to none. It is not surprising that agents desire to escape from bureau life, but it does impede further details to include on this report. Rumination. During hard times, attempts to distract ourselves from the horrors of life are appreciated. Literature, film, or games. The SHÜM cabinet literally offers escape. Taken away from this prison and placed into a world of rules. To have fun. What would happen if someone never wanted to return? If a player wanted to, they could disassociate their mind into the game and never finish it, keeping themselves permanently inside, no longer needing to engage in this hell. Maybe not happy, but at least not in active distress. Avoiding the worst of it until the building lockdown ends and we can leave this prison. Or at the very least, unable to notice if the hiss gets them. Player is unaware of their surroundings. They could be killed while playing, and the only thing they would remember is a fun game. They do say that going in your sleep is the best case scenario. This is the next best thing. But SHÜM. Why SHÜM? Maybe anyone that desperate is in a state of emotional winter, hope and joy imprisoned at the bottom of a frozen lake. Rituals performed in the name of SHÜM are done with the intention of summoning forth spring from that frozen wasteland. The game uses our daily life and finds a way to make it fun. Make a game of it. Maybe the game is trying to invigorate our enjoyment of life in its own way, to reignite our lust for life, to give us a more personal, emotional SHÜM, not a game. That is, if we have the power to tear ourselves away from it. Escaping from this winter through this cabinet can warm us with a false flame. But summoning spring can make the world better. This concludes my report on AI-40, the SHÜM arcade cabinet.